Yo, Ryan here. So today I'll be continuing What If Deku Was Abandoned Part 11, so let's get started. So the last time I ended the video with Izuku saying, Momo was saying, okay, you can call me Momo. I was wondering, why do you hate your sister and parents so much? Izuku then said, you see, when I was 4 years I was diagnosed quirkless, and then my parents paid attention toward my sister more than me. Not only they didn't pay attention to Izumi, but Izumi began to bully me with Katsuki because I didn't have a quirk and nobody wanted to play with me. Katsumi was the only one that spent time with me. Katsumi then said, also Kami babe, she also spent time with you. Izuku then said, Kami, I totally forgot about her. Momo then said, who is Kami? Izuku then said, another friend of ours, we knew her for like 2 years, only she had the quirk that allowed her to transform into another person and have weak version of their quirk. Momo then said, what happened to her? Katsumi then said, you see, the other kids said her quirk is a villain one and they teased her, so we both decided to play with her and she accepted. We became fast friends. However, due to her parent jobs, she had to move cities again. Izuku then said, after that we lost contact. Momo then said, wow, you have a tough childhood, Izuku. Izuku then said, yup, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Momo then said, why? Izuku smiles and said, because without that I would not met God Jason, Tatsumi and Kaneki and Noctis, who helped me gain and train in their powers, also allowing me to have 2 beautiful girlfriends. Momo Katsumi then said, we love you too, Izuku. Momo then said, wait, are you going to forgive your mother first? Then Izuku said, yes, I'm going to forgive her first because God, when I was taking a break, showed me my mother and how much she was suffering because my death. He showed me that she truly regretted ignoring me my entire childhood. Katsumi then said, so when are you going to forgive her? Izuku then smiled and said, yup. And Katsumi crying then said, she will be happy. Izuku then said, why are you crying? Katsumi crying, I'm happy that you are going to forgive your mom because after you left, she was really devastated completely that her baby boy was no longer with her. Izuku then said, please stop. Katsumi then said, when are you going to forgive her? Izuku then said, after the USG event, we are gonna go tomorrow. Momo then said, I'm happy for you, for your mom. Look, at the time, I need to head home. Then Izuku said, want me to drive you? Momo then said, no, I already contacted my driver. Izuku then said, alright. As we hear the car beeping, Momo stood up and said, that's my driver. Izuku then said, let me walk you to the door. Momo said thanks. As both of them went toward the front door, Izuku opened the door and Momo was standing in the doorway. Momo then said, later Izuku. Then Izuku said later. After a short kiss they parted away and Momo went toward her limo, got in and she waved goodbye through the window. Izuku then went back inside. Katsumi was watching TV, so he decided to watch TV for the rest of the night. Izuku then said, Katsumi replied to him saying, yeah. Izuku then said, thank you to you and auntie for taking care of mom when she was lonely. Katsumi then said, well, pointing my mother-in-law liking me. Izuku then said, you know, if I forgive her, she would ask for grandbabies. Katsumi blushing then said, I know. Izuku said, be ready. Katsumi then said, bring it. As they spent the rest of the night watching romantic movies, they enjoyed their company. So now we see the class waiting for their teachers to arrive for the hero's course. Katsumi is sitting on Izuku's lap and she's just snuggling with him. Most male classmates are jealous and 2 people are extremely jealous as they are waiting. Katsumi talk to Izuku, and we can hear, yeah babe, what are you doing today? Uncle Azawa told me that we are going to the USJ. Then Dinky said, University of Japan? Then Izuku said, no, unforeseen simulation joint. Then Dinky said, why? Izuku then said, maybe we should wait for him to explain more. He is coming in, so everyone go back to your seats. Babe, go to your seat. Katsumi pouts out and then said, fine, but tonight you are going to let me sit on your lap when we are watching TV. Izuku then said, got it, as Aizawa and Green like a tornado entered the room. Ida then said, Aizawa sir. GT ma'am, isn't All Might teaching the class? Aizawa replied saying he is busy, so I was asked to sub for him. Alright, I know Izuku told you about the USJ. We are going there to rescue situations. Everyone then said alright. GT then said, if you want you can wear your hero costumes of UA gym uniform. Katsumi and Izuku decided to wear their hero costumes as they headed out. Izumi stood behind and talked to her mother and uncle. Aizawa then said, yes Yagi. Izumi then said, can you please, if you do in a team, put me on the team with Izuku so I can talk to him. He doesn't talk to me at all, or like Katsuki. GT then said, I'll try sweetie, but don't get your hopes up. Izumi then said, I see. Aizawa then said, hurry up or you will be late. Izumi then said, yes sir. As they are changing into their costumes, everyone is pumped up to rescue training. However, Izuku had a bad feeling, so he made extra precaution. Izuku then said, Ida then said, yes Lysius. Izuku said, look, since I'm class president, everyone has to follow my orders, right? Ida then said, yup. Izuku then said, you make sure you keep your children cool till we are at the USJ. Ida then said, no problem, can I ask why? Izuku then said, I have a feeling that something is going to happen, but I might be overreacting. Ida then said, okay. Izuku then said, thanks. Let's go. We can't let them wait. And Izuku then said, okay. As everyone went toward the boss, Izuku, since he was the class president, he had to keep them in line. So Izuku then said, alright, listen up. We are going to sorry guys, I can't even speak. So Izuku then said, alright, listen up. When we get there, you must be on your best behavior, especially you, brother. Katsuki then said, don't call me that, it sounds weird. Izuku then said, for the first time I agree with you, what I was thinking. As everyone laughed at their statements after their outburst, they calmed down and Izuku began talking again. Izuku then said, when we get there, you do your best and don't make the class look bad. Everyone then said, yes, class president. Izuku then said, alright, you can sit wherever you want. As they moved in the bus, Izuku sat beside the window and Katsumi sat next to him and laid her head on his shoulder. He wrapped his arm around her to bring her closer as they were having their moment only two girls were jealous of the sight. Jiro then said, Bakugo, you're lucky. Izumi then said, I want to use his shoulders as a pillow, as they are having normal conversation when to you as we spoke up. Tsu then said, yes. Izuku then said, yes, Asue. Tsu then said, call me Tsu. Okay Tsu, what do you need? Tsu then said, I speak my mind. Izuku replied to her saying, okay, what is your question? Tsu then said, how come you don't live with your parents, as everyone wanted to know why the son of All Might and GT hated his family? Ask them, Izuku replied. Tsu then said, I'm asking you why you hate your dad and mom. Izuku then sighed and said, they ignored me and abandoned me when I needed them the most. Tsu then said, that's horrible. Then Izuku said, it ain't that bad, I have my wife Katsumi, she is the only thing I need right now at the moment. Tsu then said, and the future? Izuku smirked then said, having another name? Tsu then said, that name is Izuku, daddy. Katsumi blushes because Izuku is saying that in feel the fronts in the future they are going to have children of their own. Inko wanted to scream grandbabies, but she is not mother. How can she be a great grandmother if she was not great mom? Tsu then said, I see. Aizawa then said, shut up, we are here. get out of the bus. As the students got out of the bus, they gathered around to see 13 and like the space hero. 13 said, "Hello, I'm 13. Ochako stares at her and said, "It's 13, sir. I'm a huge fan." 13 then said, "Thank you. Alright, everyone, today we're going to learn how to rescue people with your quirk. I need to say 2, 3, no, 5, 8 things." Class then said, "Seriously?" Aizawa then said, 13, get on with the class. "Oh, sorry. So, everyone know my quirk is black hole. I got to stay focused and keep the damage I did to the minimum because if I'm not careful, I can seriously kill someone." When the light of the USJ exploded and Izuku knew something is going to happen, when he saw a portal appear at the middle like a fountain, he could see people coming through. Kirishima then said, "You have fake villains too?" Aizawa then said, "Everyone stay back, those are real villains." Aizawa went down and started to run. Aizawa then said, 13, protect the students." Aizawa then said, "Ida, run and notify UA." Lida then said, "Is this the order?" "Yeah, go." Ida then said, "I'm off." "Why you send Ida off, Izuku?" Izuku then said, "The reason I have to know is that something like this will happen, so everyone don't move an inch, don't attack the villains, we don't know what their quirks are." Katsuki then said, "You don't order me around, nerd." As a purple mist man appeared behind them. "Hi, I am Kurogiri. We are here to kill All Might." Izumi then said, "You aren't killing my dad." Izuku then said, "You idiot." Kurogiri then said, "Perfect. If we kill you, All Might will fall to despair." Katsuki then said, "In no way you're touching her." Katsuki was about to attack when Kurogiri made a portal appear in the floor. Some of the students were not lucky, as they were sucked in and sent to different places at the USJ. Ice Mountain, where Izuku, Shoto, and Katsuki were sent there, and villains appeared. Izuku then said, "You two, we are having no choice to fight." Katsuki then said, "Ain't taking order from you." Izuku then said, "So are you letting Izumi and your sister die?" Katsuki then said, "No." Izuku then said, "I hate you too, I despise you, but you are important to Katsumi, you are her brother, so for once listen and we can save them." Katsuki then said, "Fine." Izuku then said, "Shoto, in case of villains in ice attack us, ice them or knock them out." Shoto then said, "Okay." As Shoto insisted the villain in ice, Izuku used his Kagune to knock them out, and Katsuki used his explosion to knock them out also. After 5 minutes, all of them were knocked out but one. They decided to ask him questions. Izuku then said, "Why are you attacking us? Villains to kill All Might." Katsuki then said, "All Might is stronger than anybody." The villain then smirked, "We have something that can kill him." Shoto then said, "And that is?" The villain said, "I'm not telling." Izuku then said, "Todoroki, trap him in ice, he need to interrogated by the police." Then Shoto said, "Okay." Shoto engulfed the villain in ice, and all of them start to head back to the door of the USJ. When they saw Aizawa, Katsumi, and Momo with the huge monster, Izuku and Katsuki enraged went toward the monster. Katsuki then said Izumi, and Izuku said Katsumi. As the two girls saw their husband or crush rushing toward them, they are glad they are okay. Izuku manages to hit the Momo with his Kagune and sent him flying to a rock. Katsumi then said, "Izuku baby, you are okay?" Then Izuku said, "Yeah, I'm okay." Aizawa then said, "Izuku, take them away, I will handle this." Izuku then said, "No, you are too injured, uncle, and your kid needs his father. I'm not letting another kid grow up without a father." Izumi then said, Izuku then said, "No, Shoto, Katsuki, take Aizawa, Izumi, and Katsumi to the front and ruin out with the class. I will handle the bird brain by myself." Katsumi then said, You can't, he is too strong." Izuku then said, "Don't worry, I'm stronger." Izumi then said, "Both." And Izuku then said, "Follow my orders now." Shoto then said, "Just came back alive." Izuku said, "Of course." As Izuku went toward the bird brain, he saw his mother was holding Kurogiri by the metal plate around his neck. Izuku went toward the guy who had hands over his body. Izuku then said, "Who are you?" Then the mysterious guy said, "Shigaraki Tsumura, in your service." Izuku then said, what do you want, Shigaraki? Tomura then said, to kill the symbol of peace. Izuku then said, that's funny. Shigaraki then said, no more kill him. The Nomo charges at Izuku, but Izuku dodges the punch and he used his Kagone to slice off the Nomo. But what surprised Izuku that the Nomo had generated quickly. Izuku then said, what the hell? Shigaraki then said, this Nomo has a shock observation and instant regeneration. Izuku then thought to himself, crap. Nomo began to attack again, but Izuku is managing to dodge barely. He is dodging and attacking, but each time he heals right away. Izuku then said, think a way to end him. Izuku is thinking of and fighting at the same time that he does not notice and villain approaching him from behind and he stabbed him through his stomach. Izuku then said, what the hell? Izuku cough up like a blood and can't react quickly that Nomo grabs him by the head and slam him into the ground and start to beat him. As he is beaten, Izumi, Katsumi, Momojiro and Enko are crying. Katsumi crying then said Izumi said, little brother. Momo crying then, Izu babe, don't die. Enko let go of Kurogiri and went toward the Nomo. She picked him up and sent him to the ship. Enko went to her knees and picked her son up. Enko crying son said, son, it's okay, I'm here. I will not let you go again. Izuku then said, I miss this warm feeling to himself. Shigaraki then said, no more kill this woman. Izuku then said, Enko leave. With the students and the teacher, I will hold this thing back. Enko crying said, no, I'm not letting you go again. I abandoned you once and I'm not doing that ever again. She stood up and shielded her son and she received a punch and when she was sent to the wall, everyone screamed her name. Aizawa then said, Inko no. Izumi said, Mom no. Kasuke then said, Auntie. Inko no. Katsumi then said, Auntie no. The rest of the class just said, GT no. So Izuku opened his eyes to see his mom all bloody and her left arm missing. Something in him just snapped. He got up and went up to the Nomo, was about to kill him when he got the punch. Shigaraki then said, you cheater. Izuku said in a voice changed and said, shut up. Izuku sent the Nomo towards Shigaraki as the class saw and he started to shake violently. They are wondering what's happening to him. Katsumi then said, Ichan, what's happening to you? Izuku began to walk, start to shuckle a bit. His head was bending down and when it came up, it sent chills to Shigaraki's spine. Shigaraki then said, why am I afraid of this guy? Izuku then said, you hurt my mother, now you must pay. As Izuku figures start to change, his hair start turning to white, one eye turned to black and red. Everyone saw Izuku's face and some of them froze out of fear and Katsumi, Jiro and Izumi were the only one that weren't afraid. Shigaraki then said, what are you? Izuku then said, I'm your worst nightmare. Izuku sent second Kagones appeared and class was shocked that they looked like a centipedes. Izuku then said, now you must pay. As Izuku jumped high in the air and sent a powerful kick to the Nomo, only to be cut off by his hand. But what surprised the class more that he broke his leg on purpose to sound around to kick the Nomo. Think of the kick that Kaneki did to Jason when he was tortured for a long time. Izuku then said, you'll think after all you did to me, something like that will hurt. His leg immediately healed as he started to laugh more and Shigaraki was shaking a bit and Kurogiri just appeared right beside him. Kurogiri just said, are you okay? Shigaraki then said, this brat, he's real deal. Kurogiri then said, yeah, I'm also shaking from the pure hatred he's emitting. Izuku dashed toward the Nomo and the Nomo charged at him, but Izuku dodged and goes for all a dash toward him, but Nomo blocks him and sent him back and Izuku jumped above him before he can attack him. Izuku then said, time to end this. Katsumi began to cry that this is not her hobby, it's not her Ichan, that lovable cinnamon bun she fell in love with. Katsumi began to run toward him, but Katsuki and Izumi held her. Katsumi then said, "You two, let me go. I need to snap him out of it. If we don't, we will lose him forever." Izumi then said, "You will get killed." Katsuki then said, "That nerd is dangerous right now." When the door exploded, you can see the entire staff there, and you can see All Might pissed. All Might then said, "Izumi, where is your mother and Izuku? Izuku is fighting that big thing, and Mom, she is." All Might. So Izumi started to cry and this kind of the area when he saw his ex-wife all bloody and left arm ripped out. He got more pissed. He saw that some of the villains started to attack them, but All Might swiftly knocked them out. He saw his son and saw that this is not his son, but someone who is sad, angry and broken. Before he can help him, he saw that Izuku charged toward the big thing. Izuku dashed toward him but went down low as he just sent all of his 6 tendrils into the Nomu's body, and he repeatedly stabbed him a lot as blood poured into him, and he was smiling at the pain he's causing this thing. He did not stop until the Nomu was in pieces and couldn't regenerate no more. Shigaraki started to throw a tantrum, then said, No, you cheated. Izuku, all bloody, he turned around and he saw Shigaraki and Kurogiri. He cracked his right index finger right again and began to smile. Think of the last transformation Kaneki have. He crouched down and tilted his head and began to speak. Izuku then said, "Hey, crab face, what's 1000 minus 7? Shigaraki then said, "What?" Izuku then said, "What's 1000 minus 7? You know what? Forget it. Time to kill you." As Izuku dashed toward the villains, the villains came to try to protect them, but their limbs were cut off by Izuku paces them as they screamed in pain. All Might couldn't wait. He needed to stop his son from not being able to come back. His mother didn't want this, but what he saw Katsumi running toward him when he stopped and was about to kill a kid their age who was a villain. Teen crying then said, "Please, I'm sorry. Don't kill me. I don't want to die. Please spare me." Izuku then said, "This is what you brought to yourself. Now prepare to die." The teen closed his eyes to be killed, but he did not feel any pain when he opened his eyes to see a blonde girl hugging Izuku from behind crying. Katsumi crying then said, "Please, don't do it, Ichan. This is not you. I want my Ichan back. I want my adorable, fluffy and good Izuku." Izuku Kagun is disappeared and his eyes went back to normal, and he turned around back and hugged her. Katsumi just crying in his chest, and he held her and he was crying too. Shigaraki then said, "Kurogiri, get us out of here now." Kurogiri then said, "Yes sir." As both of them disappeared from the portal, the staff went and handcuffed all the villain. All Might and Izumi went toward Inko. All Might checked her and his eyes widened when he checked her pulse. All Might then said, "Hey, she's alive. Get the paramedic here." Izuku then said, "Good, please, I need you." God appeared and saw the damage and saw Izuku, and he knew that Izuku was the only who did this. God then said, "You lost control of ghoul powers, didn't you?" Izuku then said, "Yes. When I saw my mom in that state, I lost it. Please save her." God then said, "Alright." God went toward Inko and places his hand over her head as he his hand glowed and her in her I can't even speak. I'm so tired. I start having a headache. As he put his hand into her head, his hand started glowing, and she began to reach in and heal her. Her arm retouched itself and she began to groan. God then said, "She is alright, she just needs to rest." All Might and Izumi said, "Thank you." God then said, "No problem, bye." God left and Izuku saw his classmates. They were they are afraid of this power, and he just knew that he lost their trust on him when he felt people hugging him. He was surprised to see Katsumi and Momo hugging him. Izuku then said, "Aren't you scared of me, you two?" Momo said, "No, you lost control when you saw your mother in that position, and anyone can lose control." Katsumi then said, ain't your fault you saw your mother in that state. I don't blame you. Izuku then said, I love you both. Izuku began to kiss them on the lips. Everyone freaked out that Izuku just kissed two girls. Izumi then said, are you shitting on Katsumi? Izuku? Katsumi then said, no. I told Momo I'm willing to share him, so it's no big deal. Nizu then said, Lucius, I heard from the students and Azawa about what happened. Care to explain? Then Izuku said, sir, the thing I didn't tell you ever, everything about my ghoul's power, and that is, after a while using it, or may whatever my emotion said is I lose it completely and let my ghoul powers control me to kill people. Nizu then said, well, you didn't kill anybody, just a strange creature, sir, but I was about to kill a kid my age, but you stopped. Izuku then said, Katsumi was the one who made me stop. If it wasn't for her, I would have blood in my hands. Nizu then said, well, you did stop and that's a good thing. Now, we're going to check on you since you are injured and they told me you broke your legs on purpose. Izuku then said, that seemed. Izuku just stumbled toward his pupils went back white. Katsumi and Momo began to shake him to wake up. Katsumi crying, then Izuku said, Katsumi crying said, Izuku baby, come on, wake up. Momo crying then said, Izuku honey, don't play around. Nizu shook his on his pulse and he is relieved. Nizu then said, don't worry, he's just passed out. As they listened to his snoring and they both stopped crying. Inko woke up and saw her ex-husband and her daughter holding her hands. Inko then said what happened. As both of them gave her a hug, she is surprised that both of them are crying. All Might crying said, I'm glad you are okay. If I lost you, I don't know what I will do. Izumi crying then said, Mom, I'm glad you're alive. Inko then said, you too, I'm sorry for the way I treated you. Izumi then said, it's in the past. Let's just go to the future. All Might then said, yeah, now the only thing is left to redeem ourselves as a family to our son. Where is he? Inko said. All Might then said, over there with Nizu. He's just passed out from killing that bird monster. Inko then said, he killed him? Izumi then said he went berserk when he saw you getting punched by the Nomo. He totally called you mother, Inko crying. He did. As Vlad King picked him up and he placed him in his bag when All Might stopped him. All Might then said, Vlad King, let's me. As Vlad King has said, sure. As gave All Might Izuku, All Might placed Izuku on his back and started to go to the entrance where they heard mumbles. Izuku then mumbling said, Mommy, I love you. Inko began to tear up knowing that her son still loves her very much. All Might was happy because the thing he wanted the most is that his son forgives his mother. First, because she is the one that suffers the most. He doesn't care if it will take him years for his son to forgive him. No, he didn't care how long it will take to be a father in his son's eyes. The class began to understand that Izuku lost control. Seeing his mom like that, they completely understood if they were in the same situation they will do the exact same thing, as they felt with the police and paramedic checking them if they are going if they are doing okay. The only person saw Izuku more rival than a classmate. Then Shoto said to himself, Lucius, you are the one I must defeat to show my crap of a father I don't need his fire. And that's it, what sum it up to this chapter or part. Before I end this video, I have something to explain to you. It's probably take me to 1 minute to explain. So finally, the membership for my channel just came out. I'm gonna set it up for a bit. I'll be having 3 perks in this channel. I mean, you don't need to subscribe to be a member in it. You can watch my videos always are free, but the people who join the membership, they might get exclusive updates and special videos only for them. So I have 3 perks I'm setting up right now. So the first one is the quirkless perk, which will you have with it loyalty badges. I had I made 6. One of them is Izuku, Katsuki, Shoto, another Izuku, All for One, and All Might. The emojis are still under work. I have only 4. One of them is thinking like the pink girl, what's her name? Ashido. And like Izuku smiling and sus Deku like Among Us character. The second perk is the hero, and you can get all of the like quirkless things, and added some perks like early access to new videos, member shoutouts at the beginning of the video or the end, photos and status updates, exclusive members only videos, and lastly the last perk, which I call it the almighty perk. You have all the previous perks like from quirkless and heroes added to it, bragging rights, gameplay with me in video games that might be having or buy in the future. I'm currently playing a mobile game called Free Fire. If you have that, or probably gonna find me or on Warframe, and I'm probably gonna feature like you in my videos, like feature in my videos, probably at the beginning or also the end of the video, like you asking me questions and me answering them. And yeah, with those perks, like feel free if you want to join. If you do not, it's okay, like you don't have to. All I need is like technically I don't need anything, to be honest. I'm just talking right now for no reason, but if you want to like support me more, there is a way. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and spend the most time with the most precious people you have. As I always say, don't like the video or subscribe until you like my content. And I'm sorry for my uploading schedule is crap because of like school and stuff. I literally I don't have any time, only have one day, which is I record and edit and upload in that day. So yeah, catch you next video. Peace out. Bye bye.